Zack, I will tell you everything, okay?
Right now.
All right. I guess this is Zatima. Yeah, I think I'll label this under the Zatima playlist, but consider this a follow-up of the Zatima video I recently did of, what was it? Will Zack take the fall for Fatima? It's that behind-the-scenes photo where we see DeVal and another actor, I believe, portraying a policeman. And, Zack has bandages on his hand, indicating maybe he got injured somehow from a fight or accident. But this video is also a follow-up of the video I did about the season 7 of Sistas penultimate and season finale episode synopsis. And this is a case of, man, what could have been in terms of if the writing for Sistas and Zatima were what's the term I'm looking for? Streamlined, where, long story short, if the shows were written in a way where the continuity was just flawless. Now we know that, well, if you don't know, now you know, or you're going to know. In the season 7 finale, it's called Had It Coming. And I feel like that alone solidifies the fact that, Gary is going to get his. Now, when you look at the episode 21 synopsis, I'll just go into brief detail. Season 7, episode 21, Jordan and Fatima engage in ugly battles with Gary on Andy's behalf. And then in the finale, Andy's career is completely changed, but her life is thrown into turmoil when someone's life is at stake. Now, from what we know about season 8 behind the scenes stuff, Gary is going to be in critical condition from something. Someone either shot him, attacked him, ran him over, or whatever, but he's going to be in the hospital. Meaning that during the season 7 finale, or potentially the first scene of episode 1 of season 8, Gary is going to be taken out, or an attempt will be made on his life. From there, look at what we have now in Zatima season 3. From behind the scenes stuff, episode, character breakdowns and all, Zack is going to be in jail, arrested for murder. Now, if we look back to the sister side of things, we know this season Zack isn't on the best terms with Gary due to the money he put into the hedge fund company being on lockdown, so to speak, because with the feds and all doing in the investigation, a lot of his assets and stuff are tied up or frozen. And when Fatima told Zack about having one of her lawyer friends look at the contract, well, Gary is legally in his rights not to just hand you over the money. And at first, Fatima was talking about taking him out earlier in the season, but Zack's like, no, don't take him out. I gotta get my money. But then after finding out there's really nothing that can be done due to the contract, Zack's like, well, I mean, if you wanted to call your cousin, yeah, that's my girl. But now with everything involving Andy in terms of Gary trying to ruin her life as well as Jordan's, and Fatima confronting him about it, it would make sense if Fatima was responsible for having Gary taken out once and for all. Now, this, again, could only really work if the storylines of both shows were just woven together perfectly. But for one, it's not due to the fact that Sistas, Fatima isn't pregnant, while in Zatima she is. And it would make sense if, let's say, Gary died, because Zack wouldn't get arrested for murder if Gary wasn't dead. Then on top of that, let's say the police or whoever doing the investigation don't really look at everything. Well, they do, but the fact that, with Fatima calling her cousin and whatnot, it's possible that they have such experience at what they do, they know not to leave breadcrumbs. So without legitimate, reason to point the finger at Fatima or Madam or whoever, they look at all the evidence, like, okay, who's been in and out of the Gary's business and things like that. And then they notice that Zack was in there. Now, I don't know if Zack or Gary necessarily has an camera in his office. With all the wild stuff he does, I don't think it would be smart of him to do so. But let's just say for whatever reason, Zack gets caught on camera or whatever, or maybe they find the gun in Gary's drawer, and they see that Zack's fingerprints are on it, and then the cameras would show him entering and exiting the building. Maybe there's like cameras that shows who goes into Gary's office and then who comes out. That would actually make sense. And then with Zack in the predicament he's in, he's like, you know what? Dang, Fatima, I know you were the one who had something to do with this because I asked you to, or for whatever reason you decided to do it, maybe for Andy's sake. But instead of you going down because you're carrying our baby, I'll take the fall. And plus, it makes more sense for you to be on the outside than me, given that you work at the law firm. You know Andy. Maybe you can figure out something. Maybe Madam or whoever can get me out of this mess. So if both shows had streamlined continuity, Zack could be getting set, quote unquote, set up or arrested for Gary's murder, even though Fatima was the one that arranged it. So that would be pretty wild, but I doubt it's going to happen. And even worse would be, let's say if Zack and Fatima did get married during the finale, like I theorized in another video, and then only for them to recently be newlyweds, and then Zack goes to jail on their quote unquote honeymoon. Man, what a series that would be. But if I remember correctly, didn't the writing team say at some point, if they were given the keys to Fatima, they would write it in such a way that both shows fit together in the timeline? Or something like that. I think they talked about it before. But regardless, let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. I know a lot of people hate the idea of Zack going back to jail again, but what can you do? So let me know what you feel about it. Like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.